Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Master Answer with Dr. Mahesh. In today's YouTube lecture, we are going to discuss about the concept called as mass transfer. What is mass transfer? It is a study where we are going to discuss about how the concentration difference is going to take place. In this study, we have different unit process and unit operations. Okay. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss about topic called as diffusion and diffusivity. Okay, what is diffusivity? Diffusivity is nothing but the movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. How this is going to happen? This can be classified into two methods. One is Eddy's diffusion and molecular diffusion. Okay, so let me explain you what is this Eddy's diffusion and molecular diffusion with a simple experiment. So as I said you, we are going to discuss about concentration. So now in my hand I have two different liquids. One is a normal distilled water and the other thing is potassium permanganate solution. Okay. So in this experiment, this uh, distilled water is going to have lesser concentration compared to a potassium dichromate. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these two components and I'm going to explain you what is diffusion. Okay. So first, let me explain you what is molecular diffusion. Okay. Molecular diffusion is nothing but the movement of molecules takes place, and with this movement of molecules the concentration difference takes place from by transferring the higher concentration to the lower concentration liquid. So now I'm going to add this potassium permanganate to my distilled water. You can see. So I have added my potassium permanganate solution to my water. You can see the movement of potassium permanganate inside my water. So this reaction happens slowly to attain its equilibrium state because the movement of molecules slowly reduces the concentration from its initial concentration. Now we are going to discuss about the other diffusivity, that is ADS diffusivity. Okay, ADS diffusivity is nothing but the concept is going to be the same. Here also the concentration from higher to lower it is going to happen, but here we are going to use an external force. Okay, so here you can see again I have my distilled water and I have my potassium permanganate solution. Again I am going to add this potassium permanganate solution to my distilled water. You can see the molecular movement. Okay, the diffusivity is happening inside my water liquid. But here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an external force. Okay, I'm going to mix it externally. I'm using a glass rod here. Okay, I'm using it externally. Now you can see it attains the equilibrium state. Okay, so with an external force, we are increasing the rate of my reaction. So that is it is diffusivity. So those are the two different classification of diffusivity. That is, without an external force, when the molecule moves, the transfer of concentration takes place in a molecular diffusion, and with an external force, the movement of molecules takes place rapidly, and the concentration takes place. Concentration difference takes place. So these are the two different classification of this diffusivity. Okay. With another concept, I can explain you in detail. Like we have a concept called as film theory. Okay, so you know what is film? Okay, it is a very thin layer. So this concept also we can explain this mass transfer. So again, let us consider two different components A and B. Okay, A is moving from point 1 to point 2 and B is moving from point 1 to point 2. Okay, they are going to come in counter current contact. Okay, so when these two different components comes in contact, it bisects at the point called as film. Okay, here the film takes place. Okay, when these two different components comes in contact, it creates a film and it creates a boundary condition for both the components. Okay, what is this boundary condition? Okay, you know what is boundary? Okay, boundary is the limit where the molecule is safe inside the boundary. Once the molecule crosses the boundary layer, it enters the other criteria, other section. Okay. Similarly, here also there is a boundary condition. Okay. Here you can see the molecules move from point 1 to point 2. Okay. This is my boundary condition of A. Okay. So once the molecules move from this boundary condition, what happens? This concentration starts to transfer. Okay. Similarly, in B also we have boundary condition here. Here also the transfer takes place. So the molecule transfer takes place in this particular area. Okay, so this is our film region. Okay, so you can ask, okay, what is the necessity of this boundary layer? Here you can see the area from this point to this point. There won't be any transfer. Okay, because there is no contact of component B. Okay, but here the transfer takes place. For example, let us consider A component is having a molecule percentage 60%, and B molecule is having a percentage concentration of percentage 90%. Okay, when here A is having lower concentration, B is having higher concentration. Okay, so when this lower molecule component comes in contact with the comes in contact in film region from 60, it increases to some concentration. That is from 60 it reaches some 70 or 80%, because it is attracting the excess concentration from component B. Okay. Simultaneously, here in B, uh, before this boundary condition, there won't be any changes because there is no any contact of A. But when it comes in contact of A, since it is a higher concentration, it allows the molecule to get transferred to component A. So the transfer gets reduced from 90, it reduces to some 80% because this 10% molecule is been transferred to component A. Okay, so this is film and this is boundary. Okay, so these are the basic concept of diffusivity and concentration difference. Okay, basically what is happening here? The concentration difference takes place from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, so this happens between two different or multiple components. Okay, so with this um, okay, with this I conclude. From this video, I hope I have given you few idea about what is mass transfer and what is diffusivity. Okay, so in my future, in my upcoming videos, we will be discussing more and in detail about this mass transfer and different operations and different process and different concepts. This is a very interesting subject. I hope you will enjoy this video.